Kibler Valley. They're generating 9,000 again, and I got the man of the hour, Mike Hatcher. Kyle is running shuttle today. He'll be back in the boat soon, but how do you feel, man?
I'm okay.
It feels good. We may have, let me just warm that thing up real quick. Oh yeah, swimmer bell's ready. So we're doing some one-on-one with Michael today. We're gonna get him relaxed, give him this continual flow, and we're gonna try not to backpedal. We're gonna try to just read and run and eat this thing up. He doesn't know it yet, but most of the time I'm gonna have him in front of me, make a decision so I can film it. And it's gonna be good. What do you think, Kyle?
You know what? I'm gonna say he's gonna try to roll today.
He's gonna try to roll.
Yeah, I'm okay.
That's another way of saying he's gonna swim. Don't let your boat get sideways. That's gonna happen by being too slow. Just go where you wanna go.
So as Mike comes through the first rapid here, his paddling is a little bit shallow, but not as bad as it had been on previous runs. And he did all right, kept the boat moving forward with no backstrokes. So I just encourage him to keep that forward aggression going through the next set of rapids as well. And I let him pass me so I can film him so he can see what it looks like. Even these lead-in strokes are shallow and he's tapping the water. His paddle is not vertical, and as you see the little plume of water behind his paddle, that's indicative of not getting much purchase. You see he's just slapping kind of frantically on the right side of his boat, but it does not affect the spin momentum to get back to pointing left. And even now he's paddling upstream for some reason, even though there's no chance of stopping. Basically just while he's doing a lot with his paddle, nothing's happening. So we need to get him taking deep, meaningful strokes that are well placed and well timed that actually affect his boat. And the good example of this is he comes down through this rapid here. He's actually got really good boat angle and he's in a good spot. Although I would like to see him taking a left stroke at this moment. But instead, as you see, he takes a right stroke as his first stroke. And what that'll do is change his spin momentum, or basically it moves his boat angle to pushing right at the wall, which he's trying to avoid. And once he realizes he's going into the wall, he takes left strokes, which is good, but he does not take good, meaningful strokes. And he just adds a little speed and then smack. He did not lean into the rock, leaned away from it, water piles up, and he actually leans back, exposing his face to the river bottom as he flips. So we need to change a couple things there. I'd like to see him lean into that rock and initiate contact with his hand to keep his boat off the rock. But if you know you're gonna flip, very important that you tuck forward as far as you can to protect your face and the front part of your body. So that gives us a little something to work on there. We just gotta get him collected up and back on the water. I'll replay the moment when he comes up out of the water as well. As a bonus note here, he does not have his suit burped all the way. That makes moving around the water a little bit more difficult, although it does provide extra buoyancy. But we need to relax when we're upside down and needing to swim. Coming out of your boat frantic gets your panic mode up, it gets your adrenaline going, and it just changes your whole outlook on what's going on. We need to practice being underwater in a kayak and then pulling a skirt and getting out in a calm, collected manner. Also important is to hang on to your paddle and even possibly your boat, which will greatly aid in the self-rescue that we're trying to make. When water's too big, you might have to lose all that stuff, but in water like this, when you come out, grab your boat, grab your paddle, keep it all together, and then if you need to let go of it after that, you can do so, but it's just good practice to go ahead and get all that collected up right there on the spot. So we get collected up, we get back in the boat, and right off the bat I can see Mike is kind of out of it a little bit. He's just careening around, getting close to trees and bushes on the bank. So I'm trying to get him back in the middle of the river. He gets turned around the right way, and I want to give him a line to look at because he seems like he's just hanging in there. So I'm going over to boof line, just give him something to look at. Fly off this boof and I'll turn around and see how he does. When I look back, he does this line actually pretty well. But then he does the dreaded backstroke on the right side of his boat, initiates spin momentum to the right, does not follow up with a strong right side, and drifts into that rock. Pulled it out. He did well getting it up. Now he's flattling. You can see he's missing strokes and just slapping water. He's trying to avoid the second boulder, which he does. And afterwards, he kind of takes a minute and collects himself. Made it through there, not all bad. We're getting better. But at this point, he starts kind of drifting, not sure where to go. It all looks like boogie. And he does not identify a pillow rock that's coming up in front of him. He's keeping his boat looking forward, which is good. But at this moment right here, we should be going to the left. The reason I know that is because I've been on this rapid before, but also all that white water between his boat and mine to the left of Mike is where the flow is. On the right side, you can see there's no white, but a series of ledges. That means there's going to be a bunch of bony little rocks there, and it's not going to have good flow, a lot of rock interaction. So now he sees the pillow rock dead ahead of him, and he drifts into it sideways, but positive forward momentum and good body attitude kept him out of trouble. Now you can see all the little rocks he's got to deal with, where on my side we're dealing with just fast flow, which is usually better. So I'm going to grab this eddy and watch him finish up. And he actually does pretty good finishing up this rapid. Got everything moving forward. He stays pointed downstream. And I don't see any flattling. I just see some nice relaxed paddling. So in this next sequence, you can see Mike paddling on the left, but he's not turning his boat right. It's because he's doing these shallow little strokes. Not meaningful, so he's not changing his boat angle. And you see him flattling and paddling. Very shallow strokes. The paddle's not even all the way underwater. And here again, he's paddling on the right, but he's not turning his boat to the left. We need to do deeper, stronger, slower strokes and an early stroke to catch the boat before it gets all the way sideways. Being a little proactive, knowing that you're going to need some spin momentum to the right or the left, and make that stroke happen before you need it. He waits again, as you see, he waits too long to try to get it. And now he's turning all the way backwards to the left while paddling on the left. Barely moving his boat forward. Now he's drifting sideways through there. Going through there pretty good, but now he's just waited too long, and now he's drifting into one rock and now two rocks. So we need to kind of pick those lines a little better and not let yourself get backwards like that through the rapids. A little more control, a little more power in the stroke, and Michael will be having a much better time. So just a big shout out to Mike for letting me film him on our little one-on-one session. A lot to learn, a lot to move through, but he'll get it, and it'll all come together, and he'll be bombing the big stuff. So thanks, Mike, and I hope that was what you were looking for, that you wanted to see on camera. So after the run with Michael, I went back to the top because I'm testing out this Liquid Logic Flying Squirrel 95 for an upcoming trip. And wouldn't you know it, I ran into the Whitewater Gypsy there in the white helmet playing in the outflow, as well as Brandon over on the other side playing around. We also met Ethan and Lucy, who were making a run down as well. So we all go down for another run. I'm going to run just down through Basketball, try this Flying Squirrel out one more time, and catch a little water with my buddy Matt.
Shaphan, Pete, Isla, and Kevin. Down below, the Wondering Electrician, Guy and Evan are waiting just below Basketball Falls. They're gonna get this on the second run. So we're gonna pop in. I'm still testing the boat a little bit. Then I'm gonna get Pete through the good stuff, down through Basketball, and then go from there. This will be a step up for him. I hope he makes it.
So I have moved the seat forward in the Flying Squirrel 95, and I'm testing for stern grabbiness when I'm coming out of peel outs and that sort of thing. With the seat moved all the way up, feels much better. And I'm testing it again. It's normally about right here that I was feeling it before, but it feels good today. So I'm excited. And we're fortunate enough to have Kevin Ratliff with us, my original paddle buddy. And then this guy, my little paddle buddy. And this is his first time on the upper stretch of Kibler Valley run. If he was nervous, he doesn't show it, but that's just his normal stoic self. He just kind of takes it all in stride. I immediately feel good about it because he's just taking the right strokes, getting himself in the right position, and he's not frantic and he's not panicked at all. Keeping his boat right where it needs to be. His line, his boat angle, his strokes, his body, everything is perfect through this run. As we continue down, he's following Isla, who is a fantastic paddler. And that makes it easy sometimes if you're new to a run just to follow somebody. But unfortunately, Petey does not recognize that she's charging up for a rock splat. So you see her ramping up, and then there's the rock splat, where you basically run up on a rock. And this is it again from Petey's perspective. There's the rock splat, and too late for Petey to change, and so he rock splats. Not on purpose, but he handled it like a champ, and now he's got that under his belt. There it is again. Good body lean coming off the rock. And as we come down into Public Enemy here, Shaphan gets sideways and drifts with some G.I. Joe posture there, and basically just sideswipes a rock.
You get some water? You good? You good? You good?
Yeah, it is cold.
And it's always nice to be in the water with folks like Isla and Kevin, who immediately will assist in boat rescues and people rescues and all that sort of thing. So she kind of rodeos the boat. I was able to get it upright, and I'm trying to get it back over to the left side of the river. And it's trying to get it before all this rapid. It's going to be a close call. And as you see here, I just kind of shove it onto the rock, and it just barely grabs. And Kevin's there to save the day. And seeing exactly what I was trying to do, he got in a position so he could anchor that boat till Shaphan got there. So a lot of thanks to Isla and Kevin for helping keep Shaphan's boat from heading downstream without him.
I've never heard those words come out of your body before.
What? It was cold.
Did you take a little water?
Yeah.
That's what I figured.
A little bit.
Pete, come to me. Good work, buddy. I'm gonna pull you out till we get Shaphan ready. Way to get through there without swimming, Pete. Yeah, baby, you got a bell. First bell. Did you feel good running all over Shaphan when he was swimming?
Yeah.
All right, post-swim interview with Shaphan. How does that feel?
Feels good. It's a little brisk.
A little brisk?
A little brisk.
You
yeah.
came up out of the water making some new noises I've never heard from Shaphan. What was going on there?
I just wanted to be able to breathe at that point. It was cold.
You were a little bit chilly?
Yeah.
Proud of the little man. He did not swim. And how does it feel to not swim, Pete? Oh, he's got Basketball Falls left. That's going to be something. And then the rest of the river. So as soon as you get back in the boat, you'll warm up a lot faster. How does it feel? You cold?
No, I'm good.
You really good?
I'm good.
All right,
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Awesome. We'll have him back in the water in no time. Pete, I'm going to go get my boat and come here. We'll put in together.
It's so
Yeah, we just want to be out in the middle. Just dead between those two boulders, and then we're going to pick our way down. Go left to where Shaphan is! Go left!
So talking with Pete before the run, this is the rapid that gave him the most concern. And watching him here, I see no signs of fear or hesitation, rather of someone who's confident and paddling aggressively, picking good lines, making it happen, and executing good boat angle, good technique, and just displaying a lot of confidence. And there's definitely a proud dad moment happening here. But as you watch his paddle strokes, if he doesn't need to stroke, he doesn't, but he always places an appropriate stroke when needed to keep himself moving in a manner that he's wanting to do. He's staying in control and he's staying in command of where the kayak's going, and he's matching the intensity of the river. And when you do that right, it really just looks very fluid and relaxed. It doesn't matter how big the water gets, it's the same look, and he's definitely got that here. And now we pick up Evan, Guy, and the Wondering Electrician. And Evan also just attacks the rapids and just beast modes everything. We're doing a little paddle slap there. And there you see Guy trying his new boat out. The Dagger Nomad was a good fit for him. So we're coming down the right channel here at Island Rapid, and Kevin Ratliff took the left channel. But Pete handles that rapid well. He's done it a couple times. Evan right behind him looking like a beast. And then sometimes out of the clear blue sky, things can happen that you really don't understand why. And that happens here to Guy. I look back and forth, gonna catch an eddy and film him. And then in seemingly nothing water, Guy is upside down. I'm not sure how that happened, but we have a swimmer. He collected his boat and his paddle, got himself to shore here in this little shallow spot. So that's a self-rescue, but Pete was unable to catch the eddy, and he goes on down the river. Kevin Ratliff stays with Guy, and I follow Pete so that no one's off paddling by themselves. So the chaos can happen quickly. You just need to be able to manage it and have a plan. Pete doesn't understand how much I would rather him catch an eddy, so he doesn't really try. He's just bobbing down the river looking for a good one, rather than the first one he can find. And here you see him correct out and catch that eddy. That was fantastic. And then complete with a rock spin. So now the whole team is eddied out, and we wait for Guy and then continue downriver. And speaking to managing chaos, just after this bridge, there's a must-make move on river left because of a debris field and a down tree. So what I want to do is have the team go down through this rapid and catch the first eddy on river right. It's a bigger eddy and it's easier to catch. From there, I will one at a time have them ferry over to river left. When I can get all the members of the group to river left eddy, then the hazard is mitigated for the most part, and it's just simply running a rapid that's right there in front of you. So here we are getting into the river right eddy. We're going to stage for the Harry ferry. And a ferry is when you cross from one side of the river to the other through heavy current. And a Harry ferry is when you do that upstream of a hazard or an obstacle or just a place in the river that you don't want to be that will have some consequence. This is good for the guys to experience having to do something with a little bit of pressure on them. A swim here is not going to be a favorable experience. It'll be a negative experience. And they know that, but it's not too difficult of a move. But the way I stage the whole sequence is a good practice for things that will come later in their paddling. And here you see Evan coming quickly. No fear, good boat angle, and he does well. One by one, we've all made the ferry. Kevin Ratliff has already run through the rapid, and I'm going to have Kevin Champ go next. So here goes the Wondering Electrician. You got to go with the boat angle right, kind of close to the tree, and then straighten out before you get in the hole at the bottom of that rapid. Perfect. Shaphan's next. Drifts a little too much. Lackadaisical, hits the rock. Correct body lean gets him through there though. Guy does a little better. Nice boat angle and straightens out for the hole just right. Now I'm going to have Pete and Evan go through. And I have Evan running in front of Pete so Pete can catch Evan on camera a little closer. All kids need a highlight reel, so here we go. He washes a little too far left, but he straightens out for the hole and finishes it up perfectly. Pete is actually the only one that did the preferred line of running a little bit further right. As you see him go through there and misses the big hole on the left. Everyone did well, and that was a good confidence builder. So we come into what I believe is known as Cabin Rapid. Nice little play spot, but it's a great place to practice ferries and eddies. And you see Kevin kind of catching an eddy behind the rock there. And Kevin Champ, the Wondering Electrician, does not edge his boat and does not roll. So there we have it, a swimmer, but he does well. He collects his boat and his paddle, starts swimming left. Always important to remember that self-rescue is always preferred on a river. And if you can grab your paddle and your boat, it's going to help everyone around you. And that's something that Guy has always been really good at, as he demonstrates here for the rest of the group. There are rumors that he was trying to peel out of that eddy and didn't edge his boat correctly. But I don't believe it. I think deep down, I think Guy was just joining Kevin for a practice at another perfect self-rescue. So we appreciate that, Guy. Good form. But just in case the rumors were true, Kevin and I demonstrate a few ferries across the current, a few peel outs and that sort of thing for the rest of the guys. It's really all about boat angle and body attitude, as you see here. All the way across the current and then switch to your eddy out. So in the final stretches of the first run, there is a couple places that have a hazard or two created by wood. So I'm giving the signal for wood hazard, sticks or strainer, whatever you want to call it. That's the hand signal for that. And we just got to navigate through this one little area with a little bit of wood left in the river. You can see that one limb there. I'm following Evan through here. And everyone does well. Everyone is feeling great. And it's time to set the shuttle again and go back and run everything from the power plant down with the full group. And I think we're going to have a good run. Here you see us talking about catching eddies, and I found a couple good ones on the way down. Here you see Shaphan trying to catch one. So yeah, the guys are starting to feel it. They're starting to think about it. So we got everybody here at the top and we're strapping in. Everyone's just a little bit serious. Everyone knows it's going to be a little bit tough, but we're all ready, and I think you'll be impressed by how the guys did. They were all rock stars all the way down. And I'm going to quit talking, and I'm just going to enjoy this highlight show that the guys put on.
Nice. Look at you guys. Keep bobbing, keep bobbing.
And as the Kibler River often does, it inspired confidence in the group. All of them were looking to catch eddies, to try the hard things, to make the ferry, and to execute their lines on the way down the river. It changed from surviving the run to enjoying the experience, and now it had become to mastering new skills. We spent the last mile just catching eddies and enjoying the river. The young shredders were looking better and better. Shaphan was getting the wiggles out, remembering what it felt like to be a kayaker. Guy was hitting confident lines, and Kevin was starting to make some pretty impressive eddies. Sometimes on a river you come out and you have a good time. Sometimes you come out and you get your rear end handed to you. It's all part of the fun. But today was a good day on the river. Sometimes people progress in their paddling and make advancements that they can't see or can't feel themselves. But today I could see their improvement, and today they could feel it. They were a better paddler than when they showed up today at Kibler Valley, and they knew it. They had more fun than they expected on a little river in the middle of nowhere. Today wasn't just about going out to a river and running some Class 2, and then maybe running a little light Class 3. Today was about stepping up. This was a harder river than most of them had run before, and they were trying things they had never tried. As a group, the second run was phenomenal, and individually, each of them surprised themselves. Some of it was the river, some of it was the mindset, but all of it came together. They were firing on all cylinders, and I wish I had more time and some more miles, because I didn't want the day to end. Today's strokes were not just paddle strokes. Today's strokes were meaningful strokes.
You were. That's the takeout right there, guy. Don't miss it. Don't miss it. He found. Yeah. You're fine. I'm just. I was giving him time to let them out of the way. River Bell's ready. So you might have to. Good work, good work. Go, go, go. We're in the trees. Go to the next stop. Good work, Dave. Get that. All right, we are here. The run's over. Guy, tell me about it.
Boy, it was incredible. Thank you, Pete, for sharing this with us. And
Yep. And so you did, obviously everyone just saw, but you went to the top, ran the goods, and I say probably 1/3 of the way down the second run, you just kind of came into being comfortable on all of it.
Yes.
Would you agree?
Yeah, definitely.
Yep. I think the Nomad is agreeing with you.
It's agreeing.
It's a very forgiving boat. It's the Dagger version of the Hefe version, basically. Talk to me about it.
Really awesome.
Really awesome. Like, on a scale of 1 to 10,
10.
how do you think you did on a scale of 1 to 10 in that upper stretch?
I would say like about like 4.
What?
Just kidding.
4? Maybe a 9.
Yeah.
I'd say actually a 10. He got through it with dry hair his first time.
Yes.
What we need to start doing though is build in those little, like you were catching the eddies,
Yeah.
start catching that up in that crazy stuff. Yeah. But yeah, they did great. Pound it. Beast mode. Well, let me just get a picture of all the swimmers together real quick. Yeah, there we go. Let me get y'all in. Let's talk to Kevin. Kevin really came into his own here, second run as well.
I did. I like the second run.
You looked like you wanted 5 more miles of it.
Yeah, I would have.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Shaphan, talk to me. 8 years since he's been in a whitewater boat.
It's been a long time.
First run was a little dodgy.
It was a little bad. It was a little bad.
A little dodgy. Different style of boat than he was in last. He'd been paddling a Gus, which is really fast wave puncher. This one here is more like a floater.
Yeah, a floater. It's definitely a
So,
floater.
and he was following people, which was messing him up. Second run, I put you out front, pick your own line, and all those whitewater years came back to you.
Just like yesterday.
He saw the river. I gotta tell you, Shaphan's run some big stuff with me. Back big water, not waterfall-y kind of big, but you know, Ocoee, some of that big stuff out there. And he likes big water. When he saw it, he's like, meh, really? I was like, I think this is gonna be all you want. How do you think that went?
It was a good river to start off back on after 8 years. So.
And let's do a quick recap of that moment early on right now.
You get some water?
You good? You good? You good?
Not doing it.
Oh, I just did it. so that noise I've never heard from Shaphan before. That was a great moment. Highlighting the need for proper dry wear. The man, the myth, the legend, P5. Talk to me.
It was good.
It was good?
Yeah.
How did you do on a scale of 1 to 10?
9.
That's what I'm talking about. Dry hair day again.
Yay.
Proud of him, did awesome.
Ow.
He ran the booth at basketball. That was awesome. Did you do it on purpose?
No.
But it looked like you did it on purpose.
I guess so.
You just boom, dropped that in there.
Yeah.
What was the scariest moment of the day?
That drop.
That drop? I thought maybe it was when Kevin rammed you and almost flipped you.
That too.
Running everybody. Get out of the way.
Hey,
Okay,
kids or no kids, look, if they're in front of you, just spear them, right?
Yeah, I mean, just ask Shaphan.
Isn't that right? Just knock
yeah.
them over.
Get out of his way.
Stick a bow through the rib cage. That kid will
He's
heal.
coming. Kevin's coming for you.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, so that was the run. Great day on the water. Starting to rain. Time to put the boats in the truck. Head home. Maybe get a burger on the way. Y'all feeling a burger?
Yeah.
There's nowhere to stop, but you can get drive-through.
Yeah.
But anyway, thanks Evan. Thanks Guy.
Thank you.
Awesome run, everybody. See you next week.